interviews. British magazine God is in the TV put forward that Keith Murray and Chris Kane demonstrated sarcasm and wit not normally found coming from two of our American cousins.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of That's Audiophiles. My name's John. His name's Andy. Life is but a memory. Happened long ago. Theatre full of sadness for a long forgotten show. Seems so easy just to let it go on by, till you stop and wonder why you never wondered why. More on that later, perhaps. But first, we have a song to listen to. Andy, what have you got for us today?
I have a band called We Are Scientists. Any familiarity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Passing familiarity. I remember when they hit. I remember a picture of them with the kittens. Yeah, and I remember the hype. And
Okay.
I probably listened to their first album. Don't remember it.
Okay.
I do remember what was said about them. I will keep that under my hat for later.
Okay, fair. Well, please give their track Nobody Move, Nobody Gets Hurt a listen, and come back and let me know if it jogs any memories or what you made of it.
Okay.
The day you move, I'm probably gonna explode. It's true, I'm probably gonna explode. You'll pray for proof, I'm probably making this up. It's true, I'm probably making this up. Because my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, my body.
Okay. Really nice start. That sort of post-punk guitar riff, and then a sort of the drums, and then we go. Yeah, it's kind of got that sort of post-punk revival feel about it. A bit of like Killers. That guitar riff would sound most welcome in Block Party's Silent Alarm album, definitely. I don't know, like Franz Ferdinand perhaps in there. But the difference is the rhythm section. You got that bass, do-do, do-do. But the drums are just excellent. There's that syncopated beat in that verse that's really interesting and sort of grabs your attention. And then in that chorus bit, I presume that was the chorus just then, it's the guitar sort of rising up. You're getting the double pound again from the bass, and he's the drummer sort of punctuating it with splashes and stuff, and then it sort of kicks off a bit. It's really interesting. I'm just going to bring it back a little bit. I reckon about there, just to listen to that bit again.
My body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. So nobody's gonna get hurt. Don't move, cause nobody wants to get up.
It's a short song. Yeah. I really like the way they had this sort of squeal, feedback, whatever, guitar, just gives it a wiggle at the end and then goes into a mini chug chug and then into the riff. That's a nice touch. So I'm going to listen to that again as well.
If no one moves, then nobody's gonna get hurt. Don't move, cause nobody wants to get up. We'll pray for proof. I'm probably making this up. It's true, I'm probably making this up. Because my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Because my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, my body is your body, and I'm not just anybody. If you wanna use my body, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I could listen to that drum all day long. That was really interesting. Even when the guitar was doing this kind of 80s sort of solo-y type thing, I was listening to the drums. It was great. Um, yeah, really interesting. A lot of stuff to think about. Let's get back to Andy and chop it up.
All right, you're returned. So, how was your experience listening to We Are Scientists?
Yeah, it sort of brought some things back. I think I may have heard this before, but I do not remember it.
Okay.
That's as much as I can say. So we start off with a post-punk guitar riff, and then a drum fill, which sounds like a clacker on a rally chopper just starting up, and we're into the song. Do I need to explain that to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So clacker, I believe they still do it now, but what it used to do, particularly for me, because I was at that age in the 70s, you would get a piece of card, clothes peg, onto the sort of arm of your bike, into the spokes, and
Okay.
and that's what the
I
drum
just
fill
needed to
reminded me of.
know what the definition. We baseball cards we used to stick in our bicycles. Okay, I got you.
I don't know what the cars, if they were specific to anything. Cigarette cards, I used to have those.
Okay.
Everywhere, but yeah. So that's what it sounded like to me. So we're into the song, and you're expecting this sort of post-punk sort of type thing, but actually, this is the rhythm section with that syncopated beat from the drummer, and the bass quite forward, but it sounded like the bass sounds like it's chewing gum. So, no. I've just had that image, and it really shows the intent of the track. So, living up to their name, We Are Scientists. They agitate their beaker post-punk revival sounds over a Bunsen burner of indie dance flame. It'll be a while to think that one up. No,
kudos to you though.
Now I remember when the hype came out about these band. There were various sort of. We're talking early-ish noughties. It's definitely after a certain period. I get a bit fuzzy with the years, but it's around there. But I remember the certain bands that were referenced in terms of British bands, and I was expecting some kind of American version of the Future Heads, but not so. It's got more of a. Instead, I'm sort of reminded of the Killers,
Mhm.
Block Party later on, and Franz Ferdinand, sort of emulsified with that sound that some people call dance punk, which I hate that term, but it kind of, it is what it is. I don't know why, but I always associate that music with New York attitude.
Yeah.
And there's a kind of knowingness to it, and not in a nasty way, but there's almost like a bit of a smugness to it as well. In a kind of New York, I'm really fucking cool, sort of way. Um, Now, they probably weren't the first, but when I hear that sort of music, I immediately always think of The Rapture. And I know they're New York, and you obviously gave us Woo, Yeah, or Right, whatever it's called earlier in the year. So yeah. So anyway, back to the song. Singer starts, and there is that knowing New York attitude, even in the lyrics.
Yeah.
I didn't catch all of it, but it's something about it's true. I'm probably going to explode. Oh, 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 oh. Something else. I'm probably making this up. It's true. I'm probably making this up. Oh, whoa, whoa. Again, it's kind of like that. Yeah, I'm probably making this up, man. Sort of thing that's quite funny as well.
Yeah.
And the angular riff from the guitar really works well with the oh. It just fits together really nicely. And then we get into the chorus with those attention-seeking lyrics, because my body's your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah. The sound changes for the chorus. You get this guitar trembling as it's slowly rising up. And you get these double hits from the bass, which are punctuated by splashy drummer.
Yeah.
And then the second round of the lines, because they repeat the chorus, the drummer fucking goes to town. He starts putting in the beats, syncopated as well, smacking the cymbals, and then throwing in just a hatful of really interesting offbeats and everything. He's really shining. I mean, it was excellent. I could not stop listening to the drummer throughout all this.
Yeah.
Out of the chorus, we proceed down a muscular corridor of music of beats and into the next verse, which, as it starts, is pretty much similar, but we're heralded by a nice squeal of the guitar. It may be feedback, it may be just this buggered up note, but it sustains through. And we've had this in other songs, and I love that sort of, it's almost like a flat lining. You could picture it on a monitor. And at the end, it morphs into a wiggling worm on a hook. And then we get a couple of quick chugs, and then we're back into the main riff. And that was a really nice little bit there by the guitar to give him his dues. So we go back through the verse into the double round of chorus. And then the final minute starts with this lovely little turn from the guitar. It's kind of solo. I mean, but the first bit, it's straight out of the 80s. It's just really nice. And then he does a bit of sort of Incy Wincy Spider climbing up the octave, which is it's just also fun as well. And then we had another chorus, and then we're appropriately left the final splash of the drummer ringing out. Now, sort of in terms of the song itself, the main riff, the guitar work, could easily fit into a Block Party track from their Silent Alarm album. Absolutely. And in fact, quite a bit. I mean, the singer's voice is okay. It fits the genre. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I would say it's like, oh wow, it's him from, We're Scientists, but it's there and it does its job perfectly well. It's the bass and the drums together that propels this sort of dancing nature to it, and gives it that propulsion. In particular, it's the drummer. I could listen to him all day long.
Yeah.
In comparison to a Block Party, their drummer, Matt, what's his face, is a fucking machine. And he's also like a fill merchant as well, and does these amazing fills. And this guy's slightly different, and it's that sort of the offbeats and the rhythmic quality. We're still not just being like jazzy, but still propulsion, just makes it really fascinating. He's real standout for me. So yeah, I'd say it's a solid song, which I really enjoyed. But those drums really elevated it for me.
Yeah. I was so close to giving you the Uncle Dave version of this, where they played on Letterman, just for the spectacle of the drums played alone, because his ego's pretty ham on the drums. So, kind of regret not doing it, but I want to give you the studio version so you could hear everything with a bit more clarity. Although it's stuff on Letterman. Yeah, I agree with you with all the things that you said. I also really like the punchy I hear it more as punchy bass than I do chewing bass, but I guess it's the same kind of like, you know, constant going at it, you know, whether it's gnawing at it or
Hmm.
just, you know, punching at that bass line. I really, really enjoy that as well. Probably comes as a surprise to absolutely fucking nobody. But yeah, great song, a lot of fun. Gets stuck, got an earworm quality to it. And it is perfectly cut from that New York early 2000s cloth that you
Yeah.
were mentioning as well. So yeah, We Are Scientists. They are a New York City based rock band that formed in Berkeley, California in 1999. It consists primarily of guitarist and vocalist Keith Murray and bass guitarist Chris Kane, with drummer Keith Carney joining the band in the studio and live performances since 2013, replacing the original drummer. So, the band have released 8 studio albums, not including their early release Safety, Fun, and Learning in that order. Which the band have gone on to describe as more of a rough draft than a proper album. The band's breakthrough success came with their debut studio album, With Love and Squalor, which sold 100,000 copies in its first 6 months. It was released in 2005. Go ahead.
Is that the one with them holding the kittens on the front?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I remember the cover. That's all. Yeah.
excellent. Um, so yeah, this was followed by the release of Brain Thrust Mastery in 2008, Barbara in 2010, TV en Francais in 2014, Helter Skelter in 2016, Megaplex in 2018, Huffy in 2021, and Lobes in 2023. In late 1999, after graduating and moving to Berkeley, California, they hatched the idea for the band. Murray and Kane, along with their roommate Scott Lamb, a fellow alum of Pomona College, co founded the group. Lamb originally played guitar and provided vocals, whilst Kane played bass and Murray played the drums, as well as handling vocals. The three of them chose the name We Are Scientists after renting a truck from U-Haul. When they returned it, the inspector, after looking them up and down and assessing their wardrobe, asked, "What are you, scientists?" So I just think it's funny that, certainly judging based on how that they were dressed, that don't they he assumed they must be scientists of all things, which is such a broad term in and of itself. But yeah, Keith and Chris moved to LA in late 2000 without Scott, recruiting Mike Tapper, whom they had known during their time at Pomona. Michael would take the drums over from Keith, who would then move on to become the vocalist and the guitarist, whilst Kane would continue playing the bass. So they're moving around a bit. Mike takes over drums, and then they're switching up guitarists. Kane's sticking around on the bass. Quite accommodating of them when they're bringing in this new guy. Moving again, the band relocated to Brooklyn, New York in 2001 and began recording material in November of 2001. The band saw them reunite with original vocalist Scott Lamb, and in October, after several months of performing in California and New York, amongst other places, the band recorded their first EP. Available originally only at live shows, the EP Bitching, with an exclamation point, was released October 14th, 2002, and featured 6 tracks. Later, Bitching was made available on January 16th, 2003. In March 2003, the band announced that they would be heading to the recording studio to record their second EP, In Action, which was released through Mother West Records in October of that year, featuring 6 tracks. A year after recording In Action, the band headed once more to the recording studio, where they recorded rough versions of the tracks The Great Escape, Scene is Dead, and This Means War, which would make up half of the band's final independently released EP, The Wolf's Hour. Other tracks included Callbacks Under the Sea, In Action, and Nobody Move, Nobody Gets Hurt. The EP was released on November 26, 2004. And on January 11, 2005, the band began recording their first full-length proper album in LA. Having recorded the album, the band decided to sign with Virgin Records to handle the release. On May 15, 2005, the first single from the album aired in the UK. That single was Nobody Move, Nobody Gets Hurt. This came after a number of dates in the UK with the editors, or with editors. I don't think it is a "the" in this case. Nobody Move, Nobody Get Hurt was released later on June 27th at the same time as their own headline summer 2005 UK tour. So again, we have one of these early 2005 or 2005, early 2000 American bands really breaking through and breaking ground in the UK. Now, I'm sure Virgin has something to do with that, but I do find
Yeah.
it interesting that that's where they launched their career. You were going to mention?
Yeah, a couple of things. Editors are like
Yes.
a poor man's version of Interpol.
Hmm.
Very poor.
I've heard a couple of their tracks before. Yeah.
And they're all right, but
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to Interpol. Secondly, you mentioned all that about breaking through. I mean, it's weird how it's the case, particularly with indie music, of guitar-based indie music that isn't like grunge or new metal or whatever. Pixies, Europe and UK.
Yeah.
Strokes, UK first. Even Sonic Youth like got a bit of a sort of following in
Kings of
the UK
Leon
as
is another
well.
one that,
Yeah, another one. It's
yeah.
weird how they, have to cross the pond to get started and then go back and earn the money.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in
Yeah,
the States,
exactly.
which is worth 100 times the revenue. So there you go.
So, in July, the band shot a music video for their second single, The Great Escape, as well as appearing on MTV2 for the first time to plug their upcoming release. The band also appeared at Reading, Leeds, for the first time, performing on the Carling stage. That's a beer, isn't it? Over there, Carling? Yeah, yeah.
Sponsored. It's a sponsored stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I assumed it is, but it's also what's on the front of what, Liverpool's kit? Is that who is Carling?
No, that was Carlsberg, which is a
Oh,
different
Carlsberg.
beer.
Okay, fair. Another.
Carling Black Label is one of the most popular beers in this country, and it's
Okay.
piss poor. But anyway,
As is all the popular beers, like
yeah,
Budweiser.
yeah. But they used to do very good TV adverts.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
move on.
exactly. So, later the band released the album With Love and Squalor in the United Kingdom on October 17th, 2005, celebrating with an album signing session and an intimate gig in London's Select Disc on Berwick Street. Not familiar, hoping you are or somebody out there is. I don't know what London Select Disc is on Berwick Street, but there we have it. In December of 2005, the band made their U.S. network television debut on the aforementioned Late Show with David Letterman, where they performed Nobody Move, Nobody Gets Hurt, as well as announcing the release of their debut album With Love and Squalor, which would be released on January 10th, 2006 in the States. Also in January, the band would be in the United Kingdom on the Enemy Shockwaves tour with Mystery Jets, Arctic Monkeys, and Maximo Park, before embarking on their own headline tour in April and releasing It's a Hit on February 20th and re-releasing Nobody Move, Nobody Gets Hurt on May 3rd. Before their album debut, their earliest material often drew inspiration for lyrics from comic books and films, whilst the music drew from more punk influences, which is where you start to feel some of that, I guess, that dance punk, a term we both don't really like that much, but it is what it is. Keith Murray was cited, or pardon me, has cited influences of such performers as The Rapture, David Bowie especially on their debut album. The band has also noted that tracks on With Love and Squalor were largely written to be performed live, whilst Brain Thrust Miss Mastery was more specifically a studio effort. Other influences include Brian Eno, Velvet Underground, My Bloody Valentine, and David Bowie's Berlin era, as well as Hall & Oates and Fleetwood Mac. So, interesting choice of some excellent artists to emulate. Murray and Kane are known for incorporating comedy into their live performances, music videos, and when giving interviews. British magazine God is in the TV put forward that Keith Murray and Chris Kane demonstrated sarcasm and wit not normally found coming from two of our American cousins, which sounds like the biggest dickhead comment I've ever heard in my life, but hey, it is what it is. Going on to put, like, we're not capable of sarcasm. Like, we descended from you guys. We came from you guys. We brought the sarcasm with us. It just blows my mind.
Yes,
But
this is standard trope that Americans don't understand irony.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, I know. I begrudgingly know. So yes, they would go on and put forward that this may have been lost in translation when the band first emerged to prominence in 2005. Writing for The Independent, Ben Walsh wrote, "They are incorrigible wags who are refreshingly willing to riff on any given topic." That is one of the most British sounding sentences I've ever heard. The album With Love and Squalor charted at number 43 with a large cult following, which enabled it to, after nearly 6 months of release, gain a gold certification by the BPI in 2006. The album sold an average of 4,166 copies each week before it got the certification. The album title derived from a J.D. Salinger short story, For Esme, With Love and Squalor, and its sound has been described as dance punk and post-punk revival. Rolling Stone, Bender, and AllMusic awarded the album 3 out of 5 stars, while The Enemy and Pop Matters both scored it a 7 out of 10, and Drowned in Sound marked it an 8 out of 10. Alan Trotter of The Enemy wrote of the album in his review, "This is an indie equivalent of power pop, an unreservedly good thing. We Are Scientists' debut full-length album is full of post-punk of a particularly energetic and rambunctious sort." Matt Sheardown of Stylus magazine reviewed the album upon its release and wrote, "Upon my first listen to the opening track and lead single Nobody Move, Nobody Get Hurt, from With Love and Squalor, I almost did a double take in thinking that it was a new single from The Killers. Then, not 5 tracks later on Cash Cow, I was struck by the undertones of Hot Hot Heat that I had heard in the verses. Though those loose comparisons are not exact, they serve to situate the musical sound that We Are Scientists craft on this album." And finally, Mackenzie Wilson wrote this of the album and track for AllMusic. "With Love and Squalor marks the band's major label debut release for Virgin. Sure, fans of Block Party, The Killers, The Rapture, and Franz Ferdinand will most likely take to the snazzy 12-song set. However, We Are Scientists offer one element that the rest of the pack does not: more substance than shtick. With Love and Squalor is accessible to enough for mainstream alternative rock is accessible enough for mainstream alternative rock fans, but also slick enough for those indie rock loyalists who still worship the Smiths. Album opener Nobody Move, Nobody Get Hurt highlights the band's sexiest side with chunky guitar hooks and a flirty, danceable chorus. Murray's nervy vocals are a near match for Gene's Martin Rossiter as he croons, "My body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it." Some might think their introduction is a bit brash, but We Are Scientists immediately succeed in keeping cool and cockiness parallel. So that sums up that.
Not sure about the gene comparison, but
Oh,
maybe
really?
later on. But because I'm always stuck with their first output, which is more Morrissey sort of adjacent
Yeah.
than this. But maybe.
All right, well, let's jump into these lyrics. "The day you move, I'm probably going to explode. It's true. I'm probably going to explode. Oh, 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 whoa. Oh, oh, oh. You'll pray for proof. I'm probably making this up. It's true. I'm probably making this up. Oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 oh. Because my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah? My body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah, go for it. If no one moves, then nobody's going to get hurt. But don't move because nobody wants to get hurt. Oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 oh. You'll pray for proof. I'm probably making this up. It's true. I'm probably making this up. Oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, oh. Because my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah. My body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Because my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. My body is your body, and I'm not just anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. So I think it's just him pining for some physical interactions with a member of the opposite sex, if I'm not mistaken. That would be my best guess for this one. But not all songs have to be, cases of unresolved murders or,
No, I was thinking he was trying out for the football team.
Fair play. Fair play. What especially American football, what that sport
Yeah,
does.
tight end or whatever you call it. Yeah.
Tight end, yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for giving this a listen. I think you did an excellent job in picking out a lot of the bands that were really, honestly, like contemporaries with these guys that illustrates the sound that was going on and coming out of places like the UK and New York and California at that time. So yeah, and I thought these guys are a really good example of one of those acts. So it's been a while since I pulled out a hot heat or one of these acts from that time, and I thought these guys were due. So thank you so much for giving this a listen, John. I appreciate it, man.
Mon plaisir.
Guys out there in the listening audience, please let us know what you thought of We Are Scientists and this track by them. I'm intrigued to hear if you guys heard any other acts that weren't named, whether John's comparisons, my comparisons, or some of the bands brought up within the quotes that I cited. But yeah, and any other songs by them or bands that we should check out, whatever you feel, drop down in the comments field below. We love hearing from you guys. We love interacting with you guys. Also, while we have your attention, if you're still with us, please like, share, and subscribe if you'd be so inclined. It really does help with the channel, and we really do appreciate it. All that out of the way, hopefully John and I will catch all y'all in growing numbers on the next episode of The Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.